There are some deliveries you don't sign up for. Some things you just can't outrun. Tonight, a delivery driver thought he'd only be dropping off a simple order to a farmhouse at the edge of nowhere. But this was no ordinary night, and no ordinary delivery.
Whisper to your ear.
Act 1. Jason the Food Delivery Man. It started with a late-night request. A farmhouse, tucked deep within the woods. The kind of place you'd expect to find only silence, isolation, and darkness. Jason, a delivery driver, had worked late shifts before, but tonight, it felt different. He couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. Jason wasn't always a delivery driver. He used to have dreams of finishing school, of giving his little sister a better life. But life had a way of crumbling those dreams. His sister, Emily, had been sick for months. Doctors couldn't pinpoint the cause, but the medical bills kept piling up. The treatments were expensive. Jason didn't have the money. Until tonight, the offer seemed too good to pass up. The tip was huge, $200. Jason's sister needed her next round of medication, and without the money, she wouldn't make it. The delivery was to a farmhouse, yes, but the money, it was too tempting. Jason felt like this was the break he'd been waiting for. Act 2. The Suspicious Customer. Jason knew he should be careful. The address looked out of place, a farmhouse miles away from the usual delivery routes. But the offer was too good to ignore. His instincts told him to refuse it, but the desperation for his sister's medication drowned out the voice of reason. His head told him to back out. But the money? It was too much. And it was the only shot he had left. So he accepted the order, against his better judgment. That decision set the course for what was to come. Jason tried to shake off the feeling of dread creeping over him as the road twisted deeper into the forest. His phone was glitching more and more, the app freezing and flashing with strange error messages. Each mile felt longer. But he was so close now, so close to the money that could save Emily. His guilt faded into the background. Only one thing mattered now: reaching the farmhouse, delivering the food, and getting paid. Act 3. Warning from a local friend. Jason called his old friend named Tony, a local in the area, to ask for the address of the farmhouse. Tony's surprisingly bitter and paranoid answer warned him about the farmhouse. Tony, voiceover: "Listen, man, I don't know who's sending you to that place, but you stay away. That house, it's bad news. People disappear around there. No one knows what goes on in there. But trust me, it's better to let it be." Jason had laughed it off, and then ended the phone call with Tony, dismissing Tony's warning as superstition. But now, on this dark and stormy road, he couldn't shake the thought that maybe, just maybe, Tony had been right. There was a history to this farmhouse, a history Jason didn't know. It was said that years ago, strange happenings surrounded this place. Disappearances, people who came and never returned. And one man, a reclusive figure, had lived here alone for decades. No one knew what had become of him. Until tonight, legend had it that the man had made a deal with something dark, something that came to collect the souls of those who dared to visit. And Jason had just unknowingly crossed the line. Act 4. The farmhouse arrival. When he finally arrived at the farmhouse, it was everything Tony had warned him about and more. The house was dark, foreboding, almost as if it was waiting for him. The air felt thick with something he couldn't place. Jason's heart pounded in his chest as he stepped out of the car. He looked up at the house, then back at the road. There was no turning back now. Act 5. The glitching app. As he turned to leave, his phone buzzed again. Hundreds of identical orders flooding his app. The message that chilled him to the core. Payment. Your soul. That's when Jason knew. This was no mistake. Someone or something had been watching him, and it wasn't going to let him go that easily. Act 6. Jason's need for closure. Jason had been fighting for Emily's life for months now. Every day was a battle he wasn't sure he was winning. She had always been the bright spark in his life, and seeing her this way was tearing him apart. He couldn't lose her. Tonight, the $200 tip meant more than just a way to pay for medication. It was his last shot at keeping her alive, and that desperation led him straight into the grip of something darker than he ever could have imagined. Act 7. Jason's fate. Jason tried to leave, but as he turned to head back to his car, the door of the farmhouse creaked open, and there it stood. The figure, tall, gaunt, with eyes that burned like coals. The same figure he'd seen moving behind the frosted glass earlier. It wasn't just watching him, it was waiting for him. It reached out, its hand gripping Jason's wrist like iron. The last thing Jason felt was the icy chill of the figure's touch. Then, darkness. The next morning, the town woke up to an unsettling calm. Jason's car was found abandoned on the road. No sign of him anywhere. The farmhouse stood silent, as it always had. But the orders continued to flood in. Hundreds of new ones. And with each new order, a soul was claimed. Jason's soul had become just another payment. Another delivery. Another piece in the house's collection. So, the next time you make a late-night delivery, be careful. You might be driving to a house that doesn't want food. It wants your soul. And once it's claimed you, there will always be another order waiting. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button, subscribe for more nightmares, and share with someone brave enough to watch alone. See you in Thursday.